Oh. All right. Okay, I think we're back on. Thank you for saying my mug is awesome. I appreciate that. I appreciate having a good mug. Ludum Dare. Ludum Dare. I never know how to... I'm sure it's one of those. Alright, we'll be beginning in like 5 minutes. Alright, no, less than 5 minutes. We'll skip it 3 minutes. Just give me time to make sure everything's right on the stream. Audio's good, right? Audio sounds alright. You guys will let me know if anything's terrible. This is our website up on the screen right now. This is the show that we posted last week. This is Dinosaur Polo Club. They are the creators of Mini Metro, which actually is a Ludum Dare game. There's a... Actually, let me go ahead. Let me see if I can bring up the original Ludum Dare game of that. Ludum Dare... what was it called? Let's go. Dinosaur Polo Club. Mind the Gap. I think that was what the name was of the original... The original Ludum Dare jam game. Press kit. Yep, right here. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and load this up. So again, this is Mini Metro. This is the show that we posted last week. It's really cool. I love the game quite a bit. It's like a management simulator almost, like you're managing rails. It's like not really a puzzle game, but it's sort of a puzzle game, but it's about, I don't know, it's just really good. And anyhow, it was based off of like a Ludum Dare game called Mind the Gap, which is right here. You have stations, you have certain types of stations, you have circle, square, triangle, stuff like that. You have passengers that are at opposite stations but need to get to their destination. So if you have a square on a circle station, he needs to get to the square station. It's pretty straightforward. So, and you just connect lines like that. And this is like the basis of the game. It's really cool. But they have a full version of the game now out on Steam Early Access. That's really worthwhile to check out. I'd strongly recommend it. Strongly recommend it. And I think with that, let's go ahead and get started. So let's cut the music. Cut the music, close this. So we have 4 games today. I am doing 4 games today. The first song we are doing today is Song of Elements, which is this one right here. Nathan is showing me his copy of Persona 4 Gold. Let me see. I've started a problem. I'm playing Persona here, and now everyone else wants to play Persona. Persona! So yeah, the first game I'll be doing is Song of Elements. It's a Twine game. Again, the theme is Connected Worlds. Explore the story of 2 intertwined elemental worlds, a blazing realm of forges and fires, and an ocean realm of forested islands and vibrant life. Find story endings ranging from heat death of worlds to harmonic coexistence. An interactive novel made with twine. It takes about 3 minutes, they said. So cool. Maybe we'll do a couple playthroughs. After that, we're doing Capsule, which is another Twine game. Actually, I'm kind of excited to play some of these Twine games. I think they're really cool. So, for kind of like the blurb they have for this one is alone in space, a vessel the size of whales, the country, not the animal, floating through the endless night. You are the keeper of millions of peoples, right? I think that's, I don't know. But what might be happening in Sector 24R? That's a good question. Then we have the Salt Please by Punk. It's a puzzle game about exchanging condiments. I'm already interested in that. Then after that, we have We Must Explore. Travel on the solar system while collecting resources to create your own galaxy. This is currently an endless experience that cannot be failed or completed. Headphones and a controller are also recommended. Okay, cool. Again, this is day 5. I've done this 4 days prior now. We've played a bunch of games. I think we're over about 16-ish, close to 20-ish games now. These will all be documented more on the site with the YouTube videos attached to them. Actually, if you go to our YouTube page now, Big Sushi FM YouTube, you can see those previous videos, but there will be more like on the website. And I think at the end of this, I'm going to go through and pick some of the games I really liked and kind of feature them more prominently on the site, just saying like, hey, these are some ones I thought there were some cool games or cool things they were doing about. So, all right. So without any further dilly-daddling, let's go on and get into the first game. So the first game again is Song of Elements by Sasha. Sasha, Twitter name. I have that. It's at SASCHANARR. Sasha Nar. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. All right, so Twine, if you're not familiar, that's a text-based game. It's branching narrative paths. It's like, I feel like Twine is a great beginning point for a lot of people who want to get into game design or want to start just jamming on games but don't really have the technical know-how to mess around with Unity. Twine, from my understanding, is really easy to get into, so there's that. Oh yeah, I guess it bear was mentioning, I can share the document in which all of these games are in. The ones that we are doing today are labeled in green. The ones that have been completed are in yellow. I'm gonna post this in the chat. Right. Did I hit? Oh, it's making me log in. Log in. Does everybody have their coffee and water? Are we ready for this? Okay. I'm going to keep going until that list is complete. I'm sure you guys are like waiting to hear about this. So if you have any other games that you think are really good from Ludum Dare that are not on this list, please add them. I'm just looking for basic information like the name of the game, who created it, the genre they defined it as, and then a site to a place where I can play it. A funny thing about today's set of games is the first one, Song of Elements, was listed as a Twine game, and then Capsule, the second Twine game, was listed as a badass Twine game. So even on these like friendly lists, there's like one-upmanship happening. Gotta blow up the cobwebs off that Vita. Gotta get the cobwebs off of that.
No, man, I was playing it last time.
Oh, getting prepped.
Playing Joe Danger.
Okay, so I know I said I wasn't gonna dilly-dally anymore, and I did. Now let's get into the game. So this is Song of Elements. Sense of infinite space, shifting great forms, all is intangible. You feel you. There is you. Nothing feels right. This is not where you belong. Where? So do I belong with cresting waves, lush force, the island calls you, or flickering flames, molten rivers, and the forge calls you? Well, I've previously worked as a metalsmith, and I've taken some blacksmithing courses, so I'm going to go with the forges, because I do miss working in there. And I also worked in the kitchens for a while, so... Ooh, Beast Games did a game. Well, where's the jam? We'll get on that list. So we're going to go to the forges. Sea of flames, vast endless world of red earth with flowing rivers of molten rock. Tremendous heat, wonderful searing black clouds cover the sky, lit orange. The fires of the forges, power abundant. Where the flames spark, prince of the mightiest house of fire elements, you are young, but you can feel the flames surging within your fiery body. You feel all the bellows of the forges roaring as part of you. Yeah, I remember. Not much longer now. Soon you will control the flames and the fires, bend the flows of lava, command the royal forges as you were promised. The coronation awaits! At the high forge, a raised platform of black steel burning lands. Heat simmers around the pillars of flame, shooting up around the platform. Lesser elements have gathered. You can feel them to power as they watch in jealous awe. The power you will wield. The high priest presents me with the burning crown. You can feel the crown sizzle as it descends on your head. The blast of power scours your soul like the heat of 1,000 forges. You bellow a raw scream that reverberates in the mountains, in all the mountains. Every single flame in the line erupts in unison, endless power. You drink it all in, fire, heat, destruction. You feel alive. You're the mightiest being that has ever existed. No, you want more. This is who I am. More. I am God. I am God. I am God. Okay. Well, what do you guys think we should do? Maybe I shouldn't, we have some people watching today, so what do you guys think I should do at this point? Fire, heat, destruction, you feel alive. You're the mightiest being that has ever existed. No, with an ellipse. You want more? This is not who I am, with an ellipse. Or more, am I a god? Am I a god? I will let you guys decide. This is not who I am. Alright, that was the first one. That's what we're going with. The sense of infinite space, shifting gray forms, all is intangible. Whose memories were these? This was not you. You are different. You are benign. A sparkling sea, vast, endless, a world of islands and a blue ocean, flowing life, wonderful, delicious, white clouds dot the sky, ancient forests cover the islands, life abundant. I'm gonna breathe in that fresh air. You are the life spark, princess to the oldest house of dryads. You are young, but you can feel all the life flowing within your mossy body. Mossy body. Mossy body. Feel the wind's gentle breeze as part of you. Yes, you remember, or this is not. I am not. Again, let's go. I'll defer to you guys. You guys can decide which way I go next. So I keep going down this path. I like how they're like he's showing off. He's kind of telling which direction it goes by the color. I think that's kind of nice. There's a little bit of delay, so I'm just gonna watch Nathan lose at Destiny.
What? I'm listening to this dope music video. Fuck! That was a hot music video.
So hot it blew up your Vita. Oh man, I'm gonna have to get a Vita now. Alright, I remember. Everyone's saying remember. Not much longer now. Soon you will shelter all that is living. Bend the tides of the ocean. Sustain the growth of the trees as you were promised. Your coronation awaits. A high roost, a mass of gnarled oaks intertwined into an enormous bowl of the tallest island peaks. A warm breeze blows lily petals through the air. Forest sprites and fellow dryads have gathered. You can feel their need for protection as they watch in anticipation the benevolence you will show. The high ent presents you the crown of blossoms. I kneel. You can feel shoots of flowers grow from the crown as it settles on your hand. The torrents of life through you like 1,000 springs come at once. You sing a single harmonious chord that echoes in every plant in the land. Every creature takes up the song in unison. Endless life. You embrace all that is living. Energy, warmth, life. You feel alive. You are a protector that shelters all. No! You live to serve. I am powerful. I am more powerful than this. You are benign. I shall be the life giver. What should this one be? What should this one be? I'm leaning towards I am more powerful than this, but I'll let you guys decide. Just gonna. This is like these pauses are for when I drink my coffee. I am more powerful. Alright, I am more powerful it is. The sense of infinite space, shifting gray forms, all is intangible. Whose memories were these? This was not you. You are different. You are powerful. A sea of flames, vast, endless, a world of earth with flowing rivers of molten rock, tremendous heat. Wait, is this just the same thing from before? You are young. Yeah, this is so this is the same thing. So I stand tall. All right. Well, last time we went down the route with this is not who I am. And I think this time we are going to go with I am a god. You are the Flame Lord. The forges are worked relentlessly under your command. Ember workers are pushed to near exhaustion. Energy production is at an all-time high. Your nation fears and worships you. All is well. Years pass. You reign supreme. Something is wrong. A lethargy is spreading. Ember workers are dying. Elemental charms are winking out. Work harder. Infuse the flames with more power? I'm going to go with infuse the flames with more power. I'm not the type of person to just yell at people like that. It didn't help. Where's your power? The flames are burning low. The forges are still. The land is becoming gray. The heat lessens. The land is growing cold. Something must be done. You stand mightily in the center of the high forge, overlooking the dying flames. You see cold and stasis all around. Nothing within your belly seems to help. I need sustained life force. You feel an unfamiliar presence deep within you. It seems part of you, yet alien, feeble. Shake off the powerless feeling. Examine the presence closer. Shake off this powerless feeling or examine the presence closer. Closer, alright. You're like dueling people. Alright, you feel deep within you. There is something there, a slight feeling. It eludes you. You chase it, groping wildly. You manage to catch it, but it disappears from your grasp. Your fury mounts and you chase the feeling more frantically. Finally, you manage to pin down this feeling within you. Squeeze it tight with all your willpower! You can feel it now. A missing link in you. An even more powerful ability. It is as if a door to another world has opened to you. Examine your newfound ability closer. It seems your new ability lets you draw power into your world. You let out a terrific bellow of laughter. Who cares where the power comes from? Draw a mighty surge of power from the source. All around you, fire roars back to life. The cold air strikes on an intense heat. The air crackles with fiery power. A nearby stream of toughened lava glows back to the bright orange life. Flames lick the cracks in the ground all around you. As you stand channeling the power, you are the center of the greatest blazing inferno your nation has ever seen. You scream of victory echoes in the distance. You notice the power source from which you are channeling feels weak, almost like it is being squashed under a great weight. You notice that you might be able to fix the open channel to the power source more permanently. This could be the only hope of your nation. Fix the energy flow with a mighty opening. Fix the energy flow with a weak opening. I think I'm going to do a mighty opening. This is like, some men like to watch the world burn, right? That's the saying. I think that's what I'm going to do. You have fixed the source with tremendous power flow. The air around you, the land hums with an intense power. Spouts of liquid fire erupt from the ground. Lethargic flames. Your elementals roar back to life. Never before known energy. Ember workers sizzle to white-hot glowing life and begin working with under enormous speeds. Help! You feel the power of lands reverberating through you. You feel thrilled, ecstatic, dying, endless power. Reduce the power flow to a moderate level. Bask in the glory of the Flame Lord. I'm gonna bask in the glory of the Flame Lord. The power source screams in agony before it restrains are ripped to shreds. The life force of an entire world tears through the connection. In one instance, the fires of your world ignite the mass perfect fuel and blaze in a searing, all-consuming torrent of fire. The roar in deepest agony is the energy of 1,000 suns channeled through your body. Just before the torment of power scours your entire world and rips apart your body, you feel death of another world in the unison with yours. Man, we're dead. We done died. So, I guess this bear is worth mentioning. The theme of this Ludum Dare is connected worlds. So, this is pretty interesting. I mean, like, there's this really back and forth here with these two worlds. However, I still feel, I would argue that these choices are fairly binary, and there's not, like, enough telling. Like, it seems like if you go down this fiery path, like, the only reason that you would, like, hesitate, in, I guess, your character's just, like, thinking is that, like, is just because you have the text, right? I mean, like, everything's about, like, this power and glory and all this stuff. So if you were to, like, try to assimilate into that character, of course you're going to go out and get whirling flame, because that's just kind of it's just kind of how the character was set up. So as far as, like, the writing for it goes, I wish there was a little bit more ambiguity or gray areas, like fleshing out these, like, I mean, I guess you could argue that they're just for ciphers. Like, you're just this is supposed to just be you, and you need to be. It's just you from the very beginning, almost like you're role playing it. But however, when you put words on a page, I mean, words mean things, and when you use certain words, it helps kind of build the character for the player. So Song of Elements. It's pretty cool. It's nice. So now we're going to move on to capsules. Okay, again, this is the we are the size of a country, like the size of Wales. A game by Paper Blurt. What's happening in Sector 24R? Combination of reasons, famine, depletion of resources, and general parting has made Earth unable to sustain human life. A new home is to be found, and a loop was found. The UNS Makita is built to transport the majority of all humans to a new home. The small capsule was sent through it, and the readings it sent back convinced the scientists that on the other side, a mirrored version of Earth was to be found. Or was it desperation? Nuclear pulse propulsion was the answer to get to the loop relatively fast, 95 years. Cryotubes would freeze what was left of the human race as the self-controlling ship would steer towards the loop. Even though the Makita was self-controlling, it was decided that someone had to stay awake, someone who didn't suffer from muscle atrophy and could act in case something would go wrong. Therefore, the Sandman Project was initiated. Sandman. A lot of people volunteered, 12 got picked to become a Sandman on board the Makita. Each Sandman is required to manage at least 8 years on their own, alone. On a set date, electrical impulses began a process of getting the Sandman's muscles up to speed. 2 weeks later, the tube opens and the new Sandman takes control. The current Sandman goes back into the tube, all but the last one who has to navigate into the loop. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. Yes. Love what's happening right there. Oh, light title card. Late title card. Always a winner in my book. There's no light to wake up to yet. Another day of solitude. The Makita is so loud, or have your ears become oversensitive from all the silence? Haven't heard anyone talk to you. Hadn't had anyone to talk to for years. The life of Simmons is life in peace. You knew this. You knew it to be from the very beginning when you volunteered. Still isn't human to regret the choices we make. 8 years is a long time. Yeah, that's a super long time. I'll be talking to myself in a minute. You've seen every movie they stocked in the entertainment with. You've read every book. You even added some porn in your. They've even added some porn in your collection. You smile as you think about them meeting some suits. Must have had when someone raised their hand and stated that porn is a must. Probably something about sexual frustration and the danger surrounding it. Then someone decided what movies to bring. Masturbation gets boring so fast. Routine is key to surviving this. They pounded that phrase into your skull during the training. You and the 11 other Sandmen. Sandman is unfair statement. 5 of them were women. During that year, you really got to know your classmates, but then the freezer awaited, and now you only see them through the glass of their tubes now and then. Time for the routine. It's not 100% set routine, so you've added stuff to it, such as that horrible freeze-dried coffee and a slow stroll along the cryotubes with the lights turned off. Imagine that walking amongst these glowing tubes, no other lighting, they may resemble the bottom of the ocean as it gets lit by glowing deep-sea fish. It's cool we learned about the life that used to dwell beneath the water, bordered between the swimmers and walkers. Now only the walkers remain. Coffee or stroll? Well, I'm drinking coffee, so let's do some more coffee. Coffee is bliss. I agree. Taste is not horrendous. Of course, it's not possible to walk amongst all the crowd tubes. You find this perfect little spot 4 years ago that's relatively close to your sleeping quarters. The area holds around 45,000 tubes. And over the years, you probably touched them all. The faces look so peaceful and still. Some seem to be happy. Some seem to compliment something important. Once or twice, you found a twitch or two. It's a most welcome little thing that makes you feel somewhat less alone. Time to boot up the AFC console. I really like all the presentation. I like the extra stuff that's happening on the screen. Like this. I wonder if this is all just through Twine. But it's really interesting how they have like There's like a lot more styling to it than I would have anticipated. Makita AFC consoles, oxygen levels, life support status, nutrition supply, ship status, surf speak update available. So let's do 1. I guess I have to go select it. Oxygen levels. The oxygen levels are radical, man. What? No wipe out a hode, bro. Keep chilling. Who did? Oh, I get it. Uh-oh. Who's making these updates? System notified before you had a lot of time on his hands and knew his way around computers. So now you have to endure this douchey surfer dude voice instead of the AOC standard console voice. Thanks a lot, dude. It feels surprisingly invigorating to actually get something to do, even if it might result in your imminent death. You're fully aware that millions of lives depend on your cell, but as the years pass, just like other moons, that truth gets diluted and you start to focus on yourself instead. What can be to make me feel good? I'm gonna head over to the greenhouse. Vegetables and trees are grown by using kind of extra potent poo, then add a bit of sun's rays in a waters that's been run through the water treatment facility for the millionth time. Beans, cucumbers, bell peppers, tomatoes, avocados picked and placed. All this beautiful to a really beautiful blender, turns everything into protein compound, and some vitamins and minerals added. Makes everything last longer. Get used to it after a few years, and on your birthday, usually snatch 1 or 2 fresh fruit. The belt has apparently snapped. The humidity is quite hard on the machinery here, but duct tape is never short on the Makita. Mending is easy if you do it. Uneasy if you do it sloppy, but the belt has soon done its duty. This little treat has acted as more or less all of your holiday destinations last 7.5 years. Paris. There's just a sleeping in madness when you woke up to find someone dead in here. Painted as a clown on his face and his genitals. Whoa. Whoa! He's become rather heavy after his years in solitudes. Wow! Probably shot, and has that weird old Rocky. Who was on the team selecting there? Okay, nothing catches your eye. Breakfast. Uh oh. Okay, so what now? Chiral gas function. Don't be wasting a gas. Same as a car leakage. Maybe present some real problems as the particulate gas is what keeps all those things on ice. Simulivum apparently discovered a bug in the console that states that a cryotube is looking at the liquid used for transporting nutrient that the body consumes via its pores by opening a tube or smashing its glass. There's our Afghaners. Initial stuff say they took the slug out of the sector but found no problem. So it seems like you have to gear up and charge the slug. Electric. Slug, you never used it before and it's only needed when someone goes wrong somewhere, but this time is the first time. 98 years ago. Getting to Sector 24 without one stop for sleep is not doable. From your end to the destination, it's 980 kilometers. Jesus. You come an emergency canister with protein compound and some nutritions and scrumptious bars filled with horrible goodness. The slug can't carry that much cargo, so you have to choose what you believe is necessary. Only 2 more items besides the obvious stuff, such as tools to fix gas leaks and some cloths and a mixtape with raging techno music. I don't think I'll need a pistol. Definitely want the battery. And I'm gonna take the medical supplies. It's like a perverted malacologist. I like how they have a little like thing to that. That's hilarious. You contemplate the size of the ship and how you live on one world, and the rest of the ship is something completely different. This is the first time you've entered the part of the other world you've never seen. How will it be? Finally, you arrive and enter. We're on the ceiling floor, bed with a cold toilet seat, and that's not really been used for decades. You missed your own bunk with the tie-dye sheets that Sandman number 3 has made. Camping cozy. The pale blue sand sheets, I feel like paper on your skin. Most about this room is that it's its own window. Something you've missed throughout the years. Nothing sad, but it feels less contained. After you plug the slug and charge it, you go to bed. The night is the only state of mind out here. No changes come that it's bedtime. A few hours. Sun ray free morning. Yes, if you lost your Zumba CD, you have to pause all exercise until you get back. Slug is fully charged. With pretty bars later, you're ready to continue towards Sector 24R. Or at least where the ship goes from the middle part to end part. How far are the mind floats away? You think of food, you think of sweets, of sweat, you think of smoke. But now you see smoke. Just a pedophile a long time ago, it lures the smoke towards itself and then grabs it and swishes in the cold, dark hell outside called space. A fire can't start it by itself, someone ignites it. Park slug, grab stuff, stretch ankles, sneak. As you close in, you hear voices, not a douchey surfer voice, but real living voices. The humming from the McKinnon makes it harder to hear. Have you ever been here before? You've never been here before. How? First thought that rushes through your mind is that a Sandman, someone before you has lied. Maybe a devious lie, an elaborate lie. Maybe a concoction of lies. Maybe a few simple lies put together. Probably the most complex lie ever conceived. Suddenly you see them, 2 men. They look rugged, wearing the same jumpsuit as you, but decorated with holes and dirt. They smell and feel dirty, filthy. You can hear them talk. Let's get back to the others. Hey, let's get back to the others. Think of old noir movies as you, like a shadow, stalk these 2 men. Thoughts of routine, protein compounds, all these movies you've seen, the real lonely Christmas and Zumba races around your skull. And to not be alone at the same time as you approach and they stalk with caution. Why haven't they made contact? How did they wake from Karayo's sleep? It's less clean here than during your morning strolls. The 2 men point at some tubes. They take a felt pen from their pockets and draw a triangle with the 5 inside of it. Carry on. So you are so on edge that you almost miss that some, no, in fact, a lot of the tubes are open. Hundreds of tubes are open. Some have writing on them and symbols, some have not. The only thing for sure is that they are empty. None of them has inhabitant, and there must be more people. Where did they go? I wonder if I got hit on the head. Yep, they got me. Yes, been a few dozen more. Welcome, says a voice. The first human word you've heard in a long time. If they knock you out again. They found my mixtape. You are wake up later. Someone is taking care of that nash on your forehead. Someone knows somebody are watching you, guarding you. Yeah, I'm awake. Bingo. You try to stand up, but the crowd crowd guarding you pushes you down again. Horrible way to attend to guests. I'm Nilo, but your jumpsuit says to Todd. Oh no, some sort of space cult. I hate space cults, Nate.
They're alright.
They're the worst. First off, I must ask why you've come here. We've lived in peace and never harmed anyone for a long time. How did you awake? Did the Holy Sandman bring you back to life? Have you come into peace, or are you here to harm us? Slow down! There was a gas leakage. I'd feel better if I could check the leakage myself. And I'm afraid I can't have outsiders walking around about our storage. Storage? Okay, then I'll ask if you are friendly. Well, it's up to you, really. This is the time we got a visitor. Yeah, you said that. Don't interrupt me. With only the Holy Sandman to watch over us? Who was this Holy Sandman? You can see an image over here. Nilo waves his arms and points towards a huge portrait on one of the walls. Okay, so the Sandman who killed himself was the guy who let all these people out. No, it's far worse than you thought. As you create a small realm for yourself, space Jesus with space disciples. At the same time, you're not alone anymore. Carve the frame. Yeah, I carved it. Shut up, Sil. Creator, you gave us a future, so what? As I said, it's up to you. Okay, how does that work? Well, we'd like to think that you're either with us or against us. Jesus. I am not a Sandman god. I'm not going down that route. That's too much. I'll go with I'm with you? Okay, when do I get my new space name? Alright. Now go. Maybe just one itsy bitsy question. So guys, what are we gathering? Food, of course. Oh, are they eating people? They're eating people, aren't they? Oh no, they're totally eating people. Okay, so the area of the console is not an area. These people are fucking cannibals who eats the world's population, and they are fucking psychos. They've probably eaten hundreds, if not thousands, of passengers. What the fuck did Sandman love to do? Hey, newbie, get to work or we'll never eat. Fucking psychos. Uh-oh. We found this thing on the left side of the highway. Let's put it on the right side, idiots. With the merge backpack, you're good to go. Comfort and security wraps your body, and soothing blankets as you mount the slug once again. Hit the gas. The electrical buzzing sound the slug creates never reaches anyone. Only you hear it as you fade into the dark. For each meter you lay behind, the panic starts to leave you at peace. Soon you reach the same room you slept in, which towards the ward of the mentally insane. Good name. Probably rename Sector 24R to the in the console when you get back. A little temporary sleeping quarters are within sight. As soon as you stumble in, it acts as a sick bay with you as an untrained doctor. You make it to enter bleeding, perhaps only yourself during the night. Time to head home. A few windows to take a look at the loop outside. There it is, a big unknown with the gods who know what on the inside. 8 years you've been waiting for another world. 8 years you've guessed and wondered if that black nothing can contain a new home. 8 years you've masturbated to Rocky Barbado porn. You crave something new. Do black holes contain porn? 8 years going through it will probably kill you, but also all living humans on the ship that's not frozen. Not risking that tries to run amok in the new home. You've never been good at making decisions. Wait, what's this? I've always been good at making decisions. Sure. Module drop. You live in the first one. Also includes animations and corners, but also the most prominent frozen popsicles. To be in the safe side, you might need to drop a whole compartment 23, 24, 25 to get rid of the tribesmen, but it also means you'll kill somewhere between 20 and 60 million people, or at least setting free on the wrong side of the loop. Head to the console then. Alright, Nate. I got crazy space disciples that are crazy space cannibals that are popping open cryotubes and eating people to stay survive because the previous technician that was steward of the ship let them out and hung himself because he realized what he's done. So now my option is to go through the loop, in which potentially kills all non-cryotube life forms as you go through this black hole thing, or there's an emergency module drop, and I could drop the compartments in which I think the tribesmen are in, but it means 20 to 60 to I think 20 to 60 million people will be left behind.
Greater good.
Yeah, I think greater good is the accurate thing to do here.
That's the Picard way.
Initiate the ED. 23, 24, and 25. I'm gonna do 22 just to be safe. Drop compartments. Error, faulty compartment. What? Better check the entire console for problems. Console. Update. What's going on? Oh, it set me back. What the fuck? No. Dropping compartments 23, 24, and 25. Uh-oh. Damn it, it's bugging out on me. No! $23, $24, $25. Those are the ones I want to drop. Alright, that doesn't seem to be working. Ugh, no. Alright. Alright, well, I guess it's gonna break at the very end here. So this is Capsule. I guess if you want the ending, you'll have to go here and play it. Again, I'll be having links to all this stuff on the website. So that's Capsule. Now we're moving on to The Salt Please. What a bummer. I really want to know what happened. Alright, The Salt Please is a puzzle game about exchanging condiments. Let's go ahead and... Alright. Move mouse to exchange. Move mouse to exchange. Click to grab. And restart. Right, so... Wait. Man, what is... Okay, so I'm gonna put that here. You're gonna go there. Alright. And then you... Alright, so now he wants that. Oh. This is super interesting. Okay, so that dude wants this. Oh, this is super cool. Nice neat little puzzle game. I wonder, like, it's not removing it, so I wonder, like, if this is just kind of endless here. Or... whoop. So the way this is working is, like, if I mouse up and down, it moves all those things. My mouse left to right, it does those ones. So I need to basically find whoever has the condiment that they want, and I have to... no, get out of the way. Yeah. No, whoop. Alright, handmade levels. So who wants the salt shaker? He does. Now he wants the salt shaker, so now I have to put this there. Bam. I love the illustrations. I think that's my favorite part of this. Ta-da! I did it. This is a typical Linvey holiday dinner table arrangement. There we go. Let's wait, this guy wants it, so we gotta put it there. Now he wants... oh. There's like no counter that lets you know kind of how far along you are. Alright. Oh, nope. Nope. No.
Bruce, out of the kitchen.
You. There we go.
Bruce.
Alright, that's cute. I like this. Yeah, it does remind me of like children's book illustration or like things from like highlights. I think that's fair. Alright, so now we have a problem because so that arm doesn't reach the whole way. So I need to go down, then we go over, then we go up, then we go... ta-da! I get that salt shaker back on the table. Oh, it's really silly. I like it. I can imagine this would be like made a little bit more intense by like there's some sort of time limit. Like that'd be almost like too much maybe. But again, the theme here is connected worlds, which I think this one actually does a really good job of like actually nailing on the theme. It's so simple. Like I think it's really smart. Just like everyone reaching over for food at a dinner table. It's very elegant. All right, so I think we all get this. This is actually really good. I really like this game. I'd like to see this one go a little further. Salt Please by Punk. Made in HTML5 with Pixie.js. Many bugs. Project needs for demo and polishing. If you resets when a refresh page, let them dare. Yeah, this is really good. I really like this one. Alright, so now we are on the last one, which is We Must Explore by Goose Tickler. He recommends a controller for this.
Picture here.
What's the objectives? Collect fragments of comments to increase your power level. As your level increases, so there's ability to collect larger comments. Collision between attached comments and those in the environment. Reduce your tether strength and destroy your comment. Create new planets once you've collected enough resources. Each new planet will generate a randomized comment field. Okay. Grab the controller.
Okay, just as I stand out here in the Wonders of the unknown at Hadley, I try to realize there's a fundamental truth to our nature. Man must explore.
So I'm just collecting things now.
And this is exploration at its greatest.
Whoa! I just created a planet. I wonder if I was supposed to create it somewhere that wasn't so tight to everything else. Alright, got you. Alright, what's this over here? So I guess I'm just looking for more asteroid or more like space debris to basically help generate a planet from. But I'm not really finding anything. Oh, I grabbed that. Okay, so those are bad. Like, those are, I guess, too big or something? Whoa. Fucking moons. Finding rocks. Science noises.
It's now approaching lunar sunrise, and for all the people back on Earth, the crew of Apollo 8 has a message that we would like to send to you. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light."
Okay, so I can't. That's a big planet. So I can't do much with that. Can't screw around with that. But where do I get more rocks? Not sure if that does anything. I can pick up this. I can pick up these guys now. Alright, so I'm not sure if I quite get it. I mean, I understand I'm picking up rocks and I was making planets, but so is it sort of going for like a Katamari thing, where like as I make more planets, I can pick up larger asteroids? How do I convert these things? I don't know. Can I just like hit it? Nope. It doesn't. That thing is rejecting me, and I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So again, like connected worlds, like what's the relation here? Like what am I connected to? Like each world I make, what does that connect me to? Does it just make it so I can tether bigger things? I mean, but there's still not a whole lot out here. Whoa. Just random moons, like, cruising around, too. I know all about moons, because I've been playing Destiny. And everything's about moons and Destiny. Back me up, Nate.
It's true.
Moons and planets.
Satellites, I believe they're called.
I love space games. Space games might be by far my favorite genre of games. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that's the edge. I think I just hit the map edge there.
Wait, like the guitars from U2 or what were you talking
Yeah, like the guitars from U2.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally my favorite band of all time.
I like U2, so I won't take you bad mouthing them.
You're wrong,
Nope.
but that's okay.
You can't be wrong. You like what you like. Though I don't like new U2. I like old U2. Which doesn't mean much to some people, but it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. Yeah, I mean, so I'm doing things here, but I'm not really. Well, come on. Feedback loop here is kind of rough. Alright, so there's little guys here. Alright, can create a planet, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come over here and make a planet. Boosh. So I've now created 4 planets. I'm not sure what that does. So now I'm trying to pick up more rocks. But it seems like I can't pick up any of those rocks. I can pick up that little guy. Whoa. It's hard to see. Random space clouds. Watch out. They'll get you. Whoops. Nope, that guy doesn't want me either. Yeah, so I'm not really picking up what this one's putting down. I mean, I'm doing things. It seems like things are happening, but as far as like my intention or for what purpose is pretty poorly communicated. And I'm also not even really, I guess, connecting with what how it relates to the theme. But like again, I never really fault games for not for game jam games not necessarily like hitting up on the theme like 100% because it's just there as like a guideline. It's not really there to dominate. However, I feel like it does help. It does help give you direction, and does help you measure. Right, it helps you measure whether you were successful or not on what you set out for. Because if the theme is connected worlds, and you're working within that constraint, then at the very end you have to what is connected and what is the relation, and does the player understand those relations? Because like right now I don't understand really the relations other than I'm picking up rocks. I feel like if I get enough rocks I can pick up larger rocks. So that's what I was saying to earlier, like there's like almost like a Katamari-esque thing happening. But now what do I do when like I'm like now like pixel hunting through this large level, trying to find little gray blocks on a little dark gray blocks on a black background, space background, while trying to dodge dark red blocks, so I don't destroy my dark gray blocks that are tethered to me. So it just seems very like muddy as far as what it's trying to communicate visually. So, well, there you have it then. This is We Must Explore. I guess if you go by the title, we must explore. I mean, like, we must just because there's nothing else to do, so the compulsion there I don't think is even very well, like, handled. Like, people, like, you put me in space, like, I'm gonna want to explore, but, like, I feel like there needs to be some, like, a better hook, or make the game more about this exploration thing and not about building planets, because now this is just, like, a distraction to explore, right? Whoop, random moon. Moon's just cruising by. Oh, there's a rock. I got a rock. I found one. Oh, now look at this. So I couldn't grab this small one over here. Like this small one over here is no good. But this big one over here is good. Like I don't, why? Why is that? And then the hitboxes. Fucking hitboxes. Fucking hitboxes. I mean, it'd be interesting that when you created the other planets, that it created like some sort of like physics gravity-esque thing, like almost like Gravity Ghost, where like you are basically flowing around the planets, and the gravity pulls and affects your speed and trajectory. And that was what more about. So you're having to like slingshot your way through these planets while trying to gather up debris and asteroids to create more planets. Like, I think that would be a little bit more interesting. But yeah, as it stands, it's just like pixel hunting in a really muddy screen. Whoa. Yeah, and then that happens. That happens. Alright, well, I guess we're going to end on this one. We Must Explore. This is by Goose Tickler. Once you collect enough resources, each planet will drain a randomized comet field. Contact Maddie Christek. So, yeah, we did 4 games today. Again, to go through them, we did Song of Elements, which was a Twine game, where I basically consumed 2 worlds with my fiery soul. We also had The Capsule, which was actually really cool. I actually really like this one. I also really like Salt Please, even though it's like very basic, there's not a lot to it. I really love the concept of this. I think this was great. And finally, we had We Must Explore. Thank you so much for watching. I will be doing this again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Time. I'll be doing another 4. We have a list of games. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 more games. So that means at the end of this week I will be done with these games, and maybe we'll move on to other games. Maybe I'll just keep doing this like 1 hour stream once a day, and we'll just do some other games of note, some notable games perhaps. Get out of here, Steam. Get out of here, Steam. Alright guys, thank you so much. Take care. Goodbye.